Let me become the commander-in-chief of the MF Ghost soundtrack selection. Shall we? Eurobeat tracks I think belong in the new MF Ghost anime. Part 1. Because we just know there's going to be a sequel to this, like there was a sequel to Initial D, right? Alrighty, well, welcome back to Mandy Energy with none other than me, Mandy, and you are with me today because of MF Ghost anime clickbait. Calling it what it is, calling it how it is. No lies all up in here. So over the past few months, I have had 4 people in one medium or another ask me to do a YouTube video talking about songs in Eurobeat I think belong in the new MF Ghost anime coming out in 2023. And I kind of put the idea aside because it is pretty much just strictly clickbait. It's hypothetical clickbait, but you know what? That's kind of what YouTube loves, isn't it? So after the last request, it was actually made in a public sphere on my Discord. I was like, let's do this. Now, before we get going, I want to say very clearly, these are strictly my suggestions, my ideas. I am in no way controlling Avex's hand in this matter. I don't get to make these decisions. But before we do that, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video when it's over with your thoughts, because we all love good SEO and a great algorithm boost. Including me. And don't forget to follow me on other social media as well, at Mandy Energy on whatever medium you can imagine. Eurobeat tracks I think belong in the new 2023 MF Ghost anime. Let's go! The rules and regulations for myself are here, moving forward. So be sure you know what this means, and let's get to that quality content. First song is Bad Love by David Dima from Super Eurobeat 226 that came out in November of 2013. David Dima has been significantly underrepresented in Super Eurobeat, in Eurobeat, and in Initial D, MF Ghost, whatever, for quite some time. Despite David Dima's involvement at Time Records in some of the Initial D tracks from the late 90s, he really, as his own label, did not get much involvement in the Initial D soundtracks, and I'm not especially optimistic about the upcoming MF Ghost soundtrack. Considering how iconic his voice has become with Don't Stop the Music, which was a huge and remains a huge Initial D soundtrack Eurobeat song, it's really unfortunate that his label, Dima Music, has been underrepresented and underused by Avex for these anime soundtracks. When I hear Bad Love and when I think of Bad Love, 1, it's a song I really enjoy. 2, it's very easy to imagine this song being used in a driving sequence. Very comfortably, very cozily. It would fit incredibly well. I guess Dima thinks so too, because he has his Initial Eurobeat digital download series, and Bad Love is one of the songs on that series. So I guess him and I are kind of sharing a wavelength on that one. When outlining this video, getting my songs prepared, Bad Love was one of the first songs that just popped in my mind. I didn't take any checking, it didn't take any, going through Super Eurobeat track lists, comparing soundtracks. I knew Bad Love would work. And it's a song that I listen to a lot, it's a song that I enjoy, and it's a song that fits that late 90s, early 2000s Initial D theme song motif incredibly well. If MF Ghost is going away from that style, which maybe I'll get to later, maybe not so much. But as far as Initial D soundtracks go, Bad Love is good love. Next up, we have All Time High by Hot Blade from Super Eurobeat 242 from April of 2017. Using SCP's Manifold Love, sung by Hot Blade for the MF Ghost trailer, the second trailer that was released in May of 2022. It's pretty obvious that that's the kind of style that they're going into with MF Ghost, the more modern Eurobeat sound. And Hot Blade as an alias, Hot Blade as a singer, really encompasses quite a bit of those details that SCP would use in their productions. Picking another Hot Blade song seems like almost an expected knee-jerk reaction from me, but really, I believe it's due. I believe it's a song, All Time High, is a song that really could work in an MF Ghost 2023 soundtrack. Despite the song being a little bit older than new Eurobeat, post Super Eurobeat 250, why can't I talk? not being new Eurobeat, otherwise known right now as Super Eurobeat following 2018 or following Super Eurobeat 250's release. All Time High is very comparable to Manifold Love as far as the aggressive sound, that SCP synthesizer edge that they use. It really works. SCP, during this time period, I have to give them full props. 2015, 2016, 2017, they really mastered the Eurobeat hook, the modern Eurobeat hook for their sound that they were making. So many of their songs have a really great edge, have a really great memorable sound. And, you know, kudos. And of course, let me say, Gabriel Gozzi, I hope I'm saying his name correctly. If not, excellent vocals. That guy can sing. Fantastic. I'm pretty confident this fits on an MF Ghost soundtrack because it does, in its own way, emulate the Manifold Love sound, but it's All Time High, and it's by the same singer. So it seems like a logical next step. As I said before, a knee-jerk reaction. I don't feel it's appropriate of me to talk about a Initial D or an MF Ghost soundtrack without talking about the godfather of Eurobeat himself, Dave Rogers. Look up the Skies on Fire is a digital release download released in July 2020 by Dave Rogers Music. Look up the... From the first time I heard Skies on Fire, I really enjoyed it. It immediately became one of my favorite Dave Rogers Music release songs. And as far as a modern post Super Eurobeat 250 song goes, it is really a interesting, top quality, car themed Initial D kind of style track. It gives off that feeling that there's about to be a race sequence coming in on animation. When I started writing this list, this was probably the second song that immediately came to mind for me. I wanted to include a song by Dave Rogers. It almost seems like a moral obligation as a Eurobeat fan to make sure that his name gets mentioned in these soundtracks for anime shows. It's expected, and as far as I go, it just makes sense. You know, I have to take a moment to say that Skies on Fire is significantly undervalued by the Eurobeat fan base. I don't see so many people, at least in the corners of the Eurobeat fandom, the edges of the Eurobeat fandom that I'm involved in, I don't see Skies on Fire heavily discussed. And to me, this is a song that really went back to 1999-2000 and gripped that Eurobeat sound from A Beat C that so many Eurobeat fans love, or people that saw Initial D first, then heard Eurobeat, were dragged into the genre by. Skies on Fire seized that feeling, seized that production quality, that production delight. I don't know how to phrase it. The racing theme mixed with the Eurobeat lyric tropes, and of course, my favorite part, gotta win, gotta win, gotta win, gotta win this race. It's great. It could fit perfectly into an MF Ghost anime soundtrack in 2023-2024. I was really overjoyed when Skies on Fire came out. I think that Dave Rogers, Giancarlo, really seized on a sound that he himself had invented decades before and just blew it up in the best ways possible.
You are so fucking beautiful!
Next up, we have Go-To with Machine of Sound from the 2020 Eurobeat Kudos Kickstarter project. When that hook drops, damn, boy! That's a good song.
Why do we give off the same energy here?
To kind of break this down a little bit more, the verses of this song, of Machine of Sound, give me huge narrative, character conjecture kind of feelings. And if you were to lower the volume during the pre-chorus, I think it would give you a very nice atmosphere for more talking, a more intense conversation between a couple of rival characters, if you will. And then you slam that volume right back up for the chorus. Yeah. You know, I really think that I should just have a job at Avex and their A&R department because I'm able to deduce these wonderful ideas and to dissect these conceptual ideas for animation development. I can picture it all in my head, guys. I know I'm not explaining it well, but let me tell you, I can picture all of these scenes incredibly well. As with all songs from the 2020 Kickstarter project, this song, Machine of Sound, has a wonderful clarity, and traditional SCP expected synthesizer sound to it. It is quite enjoyable. It is quite a powerful, aggressive track. Christian and Ennio, Ace, Fastway, Go2. There are Go2 guys. They do a great job with this song. By the way, comment below and tell me how far you are in the MF Ghost manga if you've read it, because I've only read a little. Last, but certainly not least on this list, let me talk about Flash Into the Sky by Maverick. This is a digital single from summer 2020 that was made by Nick Fastari and myself with Nando Bonini on vocals. This is a song I know would have worked incredibly well. Really, I felt obligated to mention this song because being involved in the history of it, knowing the development of it, knowing the intention of the sound, it would have fit beautifully in MF Ghost in one of the racing sequences. The hook itself, without the singing, is ideal for race scenes at night. And then if you think about the chorus and the shouts of "tonight," it works so well to have that used during any sort of competition scene. Any racing scene, really. It carries that iconic anime soundtrack song that I think many fans are used to from Initial D from the late 90s, like 97, 98, but more modern, more clear, more refined. Then of course Nando sang some of the iconic songs that we know in Initial D and in Eurobeat in general. This guy is a powerhouse, and that iconic voice could really just, you know what I'm saying? For now I can say it's not appearing in MF Ghost, at least not yet for the soundtrack, but who knows what the future holds. And that concludes my video on, well, my part 1 video, on 5 songs I think would work in the MF Ghost 2023 anime soundtrack. If you agree, disagree, like, dislike, whatever, comment down below and tell me why I'm right or wrong, because you know what? It's all opinion. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Keep it classy. Keep listening to Eurobeat because Eurobeat is fun, and I'll catch you again sometime soon. Bye-bye.